This is part 3 of a 5-part series on learning pentatonic scale shapes. In the first few lessons we've dealt with laying out the chord shapes that we're going to use and then running them up the neck so that we could play in a key. Now we're going to learn the 5 scale shapes that overlay the chord shapes, and then we'll put them all together in the next lesson. The first shape we're going to start with is C. The way that I would practice this is to play my C chord shape that we learned in session 1, and then memorize and learn and play right over top of this in the same position what we'll call the C pentatonic scale shape. And it looks like this. The easiest way to memorize these shapes is 2 strings at a time. The first 2 strings, finger 1 and then finger 4. The middle 2 strings, finger 1, 3, 1, 3. The top 2 strings, finger 2, 4, 1, 4. And then put them all together. There's C. And in the same position, we're going to learn and memorize A. A chord shape. We drop straight down to the low E string. We're going to play fingers 1, 3, 1, 3. Then when we go to the middle 2 strings, we're going to drop down 1 fret and play fingers 1, 4, 1, 4. Then we move up 1 fret back to the dots, 1, 3, 1, 3. When you practice these, strum the chord shape, play the scale shape ascending, descending, and then strum the chord shape. This will create muscle memory in your fingers so that you'll be able to place these in the successive lessons in the key that we want to play in. Next shape in line is G. We start with your first finger on the 5th fret on the low E string, 1, 4, 1, 3. Middle 2 strings, 1, 3, 1, 3. Top 2 strings, 1, 4, 1, 4. Next shape in line is E. Strum the chord shape. 2 ways you can do this. You can either start with your first finger on the root note, or you can move and put your second finger on the root note. I like putting my second finger on the root note. So we'll play fingers 2, 4, 1, 4. Middle 2 strings, 1, 4, 1, 3. Move up a half step to the dots, 1, 3, 1, 3. And the 5th shape that we're going to work on today is D. Strum the chord shape. Drop down to the low E string, so we're on the dots here. 1, 3, 1, 3. Next 2 strings, 1, 3. Drop a half step and play 1, 4. Up a half step, 1, 4, 1, 3. So when you practice this thing, practice your shapes in order: C, then A, then G, then E, then D. And practice them all at the 5th fret. This is a good place to work on them. There's not a lot of tension there. The fret spacing is usually pretty good until you have those all memorized. In the next session, we're going to learn how to play them up the neck in a key.